Welcome back to another episode of Room 109. As y'all can see, I'm your host, Miss Yama. I'm over here looking very cutesy, demure, pink, soft, because it's Valentine's, it's February. And we are doing a girl chat with my girl Amanda. Happy belated birthday. You look so cute. You always showing underdone. I kid you not, I did not feel like doing no type of
First off, it's because listen. I had to do a little something. I had to do a little
fun.
something.
Not for the both of us, because when I tell you,
Listen,
I'm
your
just
skin, your
me.
skin is skinning. Okay, your
Oh,
skin
thank
is
you.
skinning like you're glowing, Bookie. So listen, we both
I just
do love for each other.
I just did not feel like putting on makeup, and I'm in the midst of packing, getting
Yes.
ready for my trip. So I was like, yeah, y'all gonna catch me with my ballerina bun. And again, I have a bow. I don't know if you can see it.
Very cutesy, very demure.
Well, we are doing a girl chat. We're just gonna talk about self-love,
Yes.
growth, everything, and just a girl chat. So let's start like with the check-in. So how you feeling today? How are you?
Today I'm feeling good. I'm feeling thankful. I'm feeling blessed. I'm cold though. Okay,
Hmm.
it's snowing, y'all. I don't know if anybody has snow
It's
going on
raining
in your
over
area
here.
as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
You don't got no, yeah, no. Over here we got the snow, so it's cold. It's it's cold, but I'm a winter baby, so I go hard for my winter time. Okay.
I went to be here and I don't go hard for my winter time. I really don't care. Give me 80 degrees,
you know,
70 up.
we love the summertime. We
Yeah,
do.
I like to be skin out. Like, I like to look good, goody, like
Yes.
big body hands, like
Yee.
just cute. But check it for me. I'm here. I'm ready to leave. By the
Okay.
time this episode airs, y'all, I put travel and mercies over me and my mom that we
Yes.
get the two in there back in front safely and sound. Because with
Amen.
everything going on, has been very like scary, but can't be scared if you believe in God. But
That part.
other than that, just really ready to be on vacation. Really ready to get my hair done. Really ready to get my nails done, my lashes done. Just can't wait to look like a girl. Like I mean, I look like a girl. I do,
No, but I know
but
you.
yeah, just get that in it. But I feel
Yes.
good. I feel really like I'm excited to talk. I think this girl chat is always needed.
Always.
But yeah, that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling really good, optimistic. Um,
Yes, that's important. Honestly, yeah, no.
optimistic. I
I
feel
feel
very
like we've definitely been on our optimistic wave. Like, let's go. It doesn't matter what's going
yeah.
on.
Like you
Let's
can't
go.
beat me. You can't stop me.
Okay,
Like
because when God is on our side, who's gonna stop us?
no
Please.
one can stop you. No one can really stop you. So I know that life has been doing its thing. So let's talk about shifting and like
Okay.
what's been going on, personal mindsets, like growth, like what's going on with you.
So, I definitely feel like, overall, like my mindset has been changing but in a good way. In a good way. I say that because, you know, like you just said, life has been doing its thing. Okay. I feel like everybody has a point in time where life is lifing. Okay. And also life
Mhm.
is never going to actually be perfect, which is fine. You finding that happiness is within yourself. But when I say that all the different changes that I've been going through have been difficult, but needed.
Okay.
Difficult, but needed. And I also feel like along with those changes within like my life, my environment, the people around me, that also came along with the shift in my mindset. So the environment that I'm in now, the people that are in my life,
Mm,
who I give my energy to,
mm,
my purpose, what I'm focused on in the sense of like my relationship with God, like all of that is all a part of the change that I'm going through right now. Because if I didn't change my mindset, I wouldn't have started shifting towards those things that are happening right now in my life that I consider a blessing. Like
mm.
the people that aren't here anymore, that's cool. The people that are here, that's great. You know what I'm saying? Like, um, ADHD is winning. The ADHD is winning because we're getting serious. ADHD is winning. But yes. Yeah. Um.
That's good. So it seems like you're like centering, you're like figuring out the motions. Change is happening. Change is
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
Yeah. No. Basically,
Dealing
like
with
I've
people that you're
attached
dealing
myself.
with.
Huh?
Yeah. I said
Yeah.
you're
No.
dealing with people that you're dealing with. Like,
Yes, I've attached myself to like a purpose now
yeah.
versus just attaching myself to people, places, and things because I feel like, things are going to fluctuate over time in order to reflect the life that you're trying to build.
Yeah, I agree.
So, yeah, but that's my little input.
I think I think same here. Like, there's been a lot of changes. I've been living vicariously through faith. If you know, you know.
Yes.
Um, Seasons have been hard. I think this is probably one of my toughest seasons of my life that I've ever endured. But I will say the fact that I don't look like what I'm going through is a
Mm.
blessing.
Yes, God.
I'm just grateful and thankful that like, every month comes by, the bills are paid, there's money in my pocket, things are happening. Things are doing what they need to do for myself.
Yes.
Just coming off of a birthday as well, like, turning 27 on the 27th.
Yes, happy
As
belated
I
birthday, my boo.
still, yeah, like as I still like, basp in the golden year and just the golden era and just making everything golden about this year. I think like at first I was like, oh, my birthday. But then I was like, my birthday was much needed. I think it was a kind of growth I needed that I didn't think that I could endure. But I think it's interesting when you ask God to show you what's for you, show you who's supposed to be around you, and He does it. And sometimes, we're like, what do you mean? Like, why do we have to listen? But like, your obedience is like your ticket to see how fast things will come. So I would say, like, I'm pretty much in the same headspace. Like, been dealing with difficult changes, but I'm gracefully happy about the changes. I'm really happy about it because I'm just so happy to see what's next. So I think that's like where my brain is at. That's where I'm going. Um, Kind of want to shift it to like self love and like challenging self love in this season as well. My big word for this year is discipline and consistency, and I believe discipline is a form of self love. And once I put it like that, I start to go, "Ooh, if you if you're doing it for Mariama, then you're doing it for Mariama."
Right.
And I've been in a season of loving on me and just sitting with myself and just sitting with my emotions. Sometimes doing that good old gut cry. Everybody need a good gut cry. And just being there for me and honestly walking away from relationships that don't serve me. And
Ooh.
that is platonic and romantic.
Mm-hmm.
Like just making sure I choose myself in all aspects and I just don't feel like I need to speak once. Actually, let me say that again. I don't feel like I need to speak twice. So I just feel like, I listen to Holy Spirit and I let Spirit moves me, especially when it comes down to people, especially friends. Once I get that feeling, oh baby, I'm bowing out peacefully. So
Right.
that's how I've been like. That's my check in, and that's like my stance on like how I'm trying to love on myself and just like care for myself and just continue to know the love that God wants me to have because God is love. And love is not an emotion, it's an action. We have to wake up every single day to choose love.
Yes.
And I choose myself every day. I choose to love me. I choose to love everyone around me. And I choose people that want to love me.
Yes.
That's a big thing because we can say we want love. We're around people that love us,
Mm-hmm.
but they love what we can do. They love that what we can bring, but they don't love like us as beings, us as our souls, and us as our imperfectness. So
Right.
that's like kind of like my mood.
I agree.
It's like,
100%.
how's your self love journey going? Like, how is that shifting for you?
Um, Honestly, my self-love journey has been amazing. It's not easy, but it's been amazing. I feel like I've come a really long way. And I'm smiling as I'm thinking about it because like my love for myself has grown immensely. And I feel like it's grown even more that I've gotten closer to God. I just feel like it's a whole another level of loving myself because I'm like, God loves me and I love me. That's all
Yeah.
I need so that I can continue to pour out love onto other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's real.
Um, and I just, for anybody that's watching this that has struggled with self love, I can 100% tell you that I relate to you since I was a kid. Like it's
You
been hard.
know,
Like, okay, you know what I mean? Like
mm,
it's been hard. It's been really hard. And when you learn that how you feel about yourself and how you carry yourself and how you move, and then your relationship with God is all you have to worry about, you're more focused on just being yourself so that you can continue to pour into the world in the way that God intends you to.
yeah.
So, but yeah, definitely when it comes to
Allow,
myself journey, huh?
gotta say, like allowing that light to shine,
Yes,
allowing people to see the glory
yes,
of you
yes,
throughout. I think that's so like it's so good. It's so good. I feel like my pastor preached this week, this past Sunday, and then he was saying happiness is not a mood, it's a place that you're forever in. There's things that can change the mood, right? But
yes,
happiness is something that is internal that you have.
yes,
So I think
yes.
we could both sit here and say, like, granted, life is rocky, but like we're happy.
We're still happy. We're still pushing. And you know something too, like how your pastor said, I've always had. No, I don't want to say always. I want to say I've had that understanding of what happiness truly is
Mm,
since I want to say like back in 2019. I had to go through some things to understand that. But and essentially, being happy is a state of mind and a way of living. It's not.
mm,
Can't let it be affected by outside sources. Now,
no.
before when I first discovered what that was, I wasn't connecting it to God as well. And it's like
Mm,
now that I have that relationship with God that I'm building and I'm trying to get stronger because, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I'm like this perfect Christian woman. Like I'm a human being. But as I'm getting closer to God, I'm understanding that happiness that you keep within yourself, how you continue to uh, have that as a way of life, also involves you understanding that as long as God is with you, you're good.
yeah.
Regardless of your circumstances. Like
Yeah,
as
no
long as
matter.
God is with you, you are good. You should be happy. You are blessed. You have things to be thankful for. And that goes
Yeah.
hand in hand with just practicing gratitude. There's
Mhm.
no way for you to understand how to be happy, no matter what's going on the outside, if you can't practice gratitude. It's
Yeah.
not possible.
No, it's not. And I think also just like to your point about gratitude, it's just like thinking about the little miracles. Thinking about like you woke up this morning. There's
Yes.
breath in your lungs. You're
Yes.
able body. You can walk.
Yes.
You can talk. You can
Yep.
eat. You have food.
You can
You know what I
see,
mean? You can see.
you
It's
know?
the little things. Like even for me, I always say like living in my own apartment, having a
Yes.
pink apartment,
Yes.
my own closet. Like I'm living in answered prayers and
Yes.
not even paying attention to some of the things that I ask God to do for me because of the fact that I think sometimes we get so in the caught in the wind of the big things, but
Yes.
we forget that there's small wins too on a daily. Like
Yes.
there's little achievements that we make. So I think you that was such a good way to say it because I think big wins, small wins, but I think small wins are always amazing because it makes you feel better. And I feel like finding ways of practicing that is good because as someone who also suffered with self-love and suffered with, finding my inner beauty, like 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, no, you said 3, 4, 5 years ago, you probably would never see me in my natural state like this. Like I would
Right.
be like, oh my God, like
Like
I
I
don't feel
can.
comfortable. And like when I
Yeah.
tell you I'm comfortable with makeup, I'm comfortable without, I'm comfortable. I be rocking my buns. Okay. Like I love me just slick back. I love just knowing, okay, I just get to just relax. So
Yes.
I think that's such a beautiful thought. Well, to just shake up the table just a bit, we are in the month of February. You're hilarious. You're shaking the table. But we are in the month of February. We are in the month of love. We start this week of love with gratitude and, fun things. But I just want to talk about dating. Dating chronicles. Like what's tea? Let's talk about it. I think it's fun. You know what? Why don't I kick us off?
Mm-mm.
I could go on. Like my girl Summer Walker say,
Okay.
love is a losing game.
Whew.
Love is
Summer.
a losing game. Love is a losing game. I think dating has been interesting for me because I've I've moved up a level of being upfront about what I want
Yeah.
and what I want to be. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I want to be a girlfriend. Well, let me not say that. Yeah, I do want to be a girlfriend, but
But the
I
end
want
goal is wife.
my
Yeah.
goal is to be a wife. You know,
Yep.
and then to be in a loving, godly, wife. You know what I mean? An ordained, loving relationship constructed by God. I think
Yes.
that's a better way to say it.
Yeah, the key.
I also have trouble being in a godly relationship because I've never been in one and I've never saw one, you
Right.
know?
Yes, I agree.
So I definitely feel like, there's certain things that I realized that I've started backwards. And there's certain things that I'm starting to pick on that I don't like. Like for
Same.
instance, I don't like lustful men.
Same.
Uh,
Like
like
getting for the people in the back.
like I really don't like men. Like it's really
Ah,
icky, it's really uncomfortable.
it's cringy.
Yeah. And also too is like the reason why I say I don't really like lustful men is because of like, yes, I'm beautiful, like I'm beautifully, wonderfully made.
Yeah.
Yes. You don't gotta tell me something I don't know. But
Okay.
I just feel like as someone who's trying the path of trying to do things differently that I'm used to, I don't shame anyone that
Yeah.
wants to have sex. I don't
Mm,
shame anyone that waits before marriage or,
yeah.
do what they want to do, whatever is called on their spirit to do. But for me, I just feel like there's just certain aspects that I just no longer want to partake in my relationships. And I have to then look into the men that I'm dealing with. And I had a lot of rude awakenings just realizing like I've been dealing with a lot of lustful men that lust for my body, men that kind of see me as like a trophy and not as a person. And also I love this saying like who leads you? If God isn't leading you, then how are you leading me? And if you don't have the fear of God, then you don't fear some of the things that we are supposed to do to live like Christ. So there are some situations that I had to cut off because of obedience. Like I just can't do this anymore. Like I can't live like this anymore. I can't keep repeating these cycles anymore. And I'm okay with being alone and figuring out what Mariama needs to have a good dating life, but also I'm not objecting anything that comes my way. I'm going to keep myself open and I'm going to see what God has in store for me and to move forward. It's hard though because I feel sometimes I feel judged by other people around me. Sometimes it's hard for me to speak up and speak to different people because of the fact that I think one coming from an African home and having, African parents, love my mother to death, but we didn't start talking about boys for real until I moved out of the house, and I'm still navigating dating. And sometimes, I realize that I do speak up a little too much to my friends, or sometimes I speak to my family just for guidance. And sometimes I wish I don't.
Okay.
Sometimes I wish, excuse me, like I'm able to, like, sometimes I wish I kept some things to myself because in the back of my mind, I'd be like, ooh, like I kind of want to go back, but I don't know how they're going to perceive this person, or I want to see where things go because I don't know. Cause, we never know. Like, I believe God does change people. I do believe that things can happen, but not overnight.
No, of
But
course. Of
I
course.
also don't want to turn into a pillar of salt either.
No.
I don't want to be Sarah and turn into a pillar of salt because
No.
I also feel like once you show me who you are once, like we're grown at this point. Everything that we do as adults is learned behavior and it's something that's ingrained in us and it's really hard to change those behavior styles. So I then ask myself, is this the life I want? And I always go back to the questions when I am dating and talking and getting to know people is my husband could never. And I feel like the basic bare minimum of just loving and thoughtfulness, flowers, and just caring for me as a being is bare minimum. You know what I mean? I don't feel
Yeah.
like I should be subjected to my body. I couldn't it's not my fault that I'm built this way. It's not my
Right.
fault that I work out, I look good, I feel good about myself, but I also don't like being sexualized. And I
No.
realize that a lot of these relationships are, a lot of these men that are coming towards me are very, over sexualizing me. They are wanting me to be this fantasy that I'm not. And Amanda, that is so uncomfortable because it's like you pray. I have so much discernment to like figure out like what's this, and I'm thinking I'm doing something right, but then it's like, no, it's time to learn another lesson. And I think I was told some things in my past about like how I tend to get a lot of men and how like, I've gone through different things, but I'm not the type to sit here and tell anyone don't date. You know what I mean? Like keep yourself hostage or
There
wait
was
a
nothing wrong
while.
with it. Say that right now.
Say it again.
There was nothing wrong with that. Okay? The fact that men want you, there's nothing wrong with that. What we care about is the quality of men at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like we're
It having standards though, you know what I mean? Because
standards.
it's wanted. Like I
Like
was saying,
being
like
someone that is attractive, being someone that gives out good energy, like of course there's going to be men that want you. So for somebody to have said that to you, yeah, they gotta take a seat to the back.
oh, they most definitely have taken it multiple seats
Because that's a no.
because it's a no. And I also feel like like when women say stuff like that's very envious. That's very like
Oh,
jealous, and that is a spirit that,
oh,
to be honest with you, I don't coincide with. Like
no.
I don't do well
We
with
don't
that.
operate like that. So when
No,
you start to experience that from women, it's weird.
it's
It's so
weird.
weird. It's like
It's beyond weird if you ask me. But also, Amanda, like, let's clock it. I also feel like, and we're the same person. I'm just not gonna stand for the BS. Like,
that.
I'm not going to sit around and I'm gonna get the best because God wants me to have the best. And I think of it like this: if I could do 4 years of grad school, I mean, 2 years of grad school, 4 years of college, if I work this hard, what makes you think it won't get better? I'm not gonna settle to be happy. I'm not gonna wait around to be picked. Like
No,
I'm first choice. I'm not second
not
choice. I'm not third choice. I'm not the fifth choice. I'm first choice, and that's it. But
that's that.
I
We're,
digress.
we're not.
I digress. But yeah, that's been dating for me. That's been my whole like, thing. I think I've been battling within my head. Because for a long time I've always heard like, oh, the men them only want you because you got a big butt, or the men them, you get all the men them. And I finally got my love of my life. So you know what I mean? Like people picking and literally friends picking their men over me or whatever the case may be. I'm not sitting here saying that I feel a type of way. That's what they want to do. That's not my cup of tea. I would never prioritize my relationship with the man over a friend. That's not something that I would do. I wasn't raised like that. But also too, like, I'm also valid in myself. Like I have enough validation for myself to know I gotta kiss a couple frogs before I meet my prince. I gotta learn a couple lessons before it can happen.
Exactly.
So that's my little spinoff. Thanks
Okay.
for your input as well. Like,
That's spooky because hold on.
talking about, you know what I mean, sister? Like,
Yeah.
and even when we did speak about it, I remember like you were like, that's
You see my face? That. Okay. So back to back to the program here, my Bookies program here. But yeah, okay, so dating. Oh girl, let me tell you. You rough out in this street.
no, it is rough. It is so rough.
You rough out in these streets, okay?
I
But
know your neck of the woods.
me, let's not even talk about my neck of the woods, okay?
So glad I did my big one and did them.
Bookie. Cause but basically, ooh, I feel like there's a hair in my eyeball and I cannot get it. Oh my gosh. Okay.
To be a girl, y'all. To be a girl.
Oh
Like you see what we go through to be a girl?
no, real life. Y'all just give me a movie here because I'm the hair is in my eyeball.
Like to be a girl. Well, while she is taking out the hair, I do want to say Whoever's watching this, happy Galentine's, happy Valentine's in our intermission. And man, be thoughtful, okay? Be thoughtful. Ask that girl to be your Valentine's.
Okay.
Okay? Get the flowers. Listen to her. Women speak and tell you what they want. It just takes you as the man them to listen.
Right.
So, love is here. Valentine's is coming. Where's your friends? Okay? Okay?
Yes.
Where's your man then? Where's the man then? Where's the girl then? Like,
Right.
I love love. I love love, but I love healthy love.
That part.
Okay? I love love. And if you know, as my girlfriends will tell you, please don't bring no man around from me that don't want you first time. Because I'm going to look at my friends and be like, baby, he
Yeah.
is never the second pick, the third pick, the fifth pick.
That
You will
part.
always be the
Okay.
first
All right.
pick.
I
That's
think
our intermission. Thanks for listening. Back to Amanda.
you guys are almost mad.
And while you were doing your thing, didn't you like my little spinoff of like,
You did. I liked it. Okay.
cute?
The girls that get it, the girls get it, and you know the guys that need to get it, get it.
Get it? Oh, get it?
Get it.
Me.
But okay, so yes, back to the dating chronicles. We're gonna call it that. So just to start off, yeah, the streets are rough, but
Rough? How rough? Pothole rough? Boom, 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 boom.
a smooth ride.
This is
It
getting
is not. It is not. But so I agree with what you were saying earlier. Like I'm gonna bounce off what you said. In the sense of you gotta kiss a couple frogs before you meet your prince. Like, yeah, there's a lot of lessons that I needed to learn. So I will never sit here and say that I regret any individual that I exchanged energy with, because I understand that it was a learning curve that I had to go through. I am not going to meet my husband. God is not going to give me my husband until I'm ready. So if I don't learn those lessons, he's not coming. He ain't coming. And so like I take it with a grain of salt. I take it with a grain of salt.
I love that.
Yeah, and
same.
Yeah, and I just keep moving forward. You know what I mean? Like right now, at this current moment, when it comes to dating, I do feel like I'm taking a break from like actively like going out and trying to meet people. I'm allowing God to place certain men in my life. And like if it's meant to be, we date, we get to know each other. It is what it is type of thing. But my main thing is like I need you to be a man of God. If you are not a man of God, I'm not even giving you the time of day. If you are not a God-fearing man, do not approach me. do not approach me. Mainly because like I have such a big heart. I have such a genuine, loving soul, and I'm not even just saying that about myself. Like my friends and my family, even the people that I have dealt with, all have the same experience with me in the sense of like how genuine and loving I am.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, I want to be able to give that to a man that deserves it.
Okay.
I want to be able to give it to a God-fearing man that's going to love me, a God-fearing woman. And like you said, I want to be in, what was the word you used earlier?
A godly ordained.
A God what?
A godly ordained. Like,
thank you. Yes. Sorry. I want to be in a godly ordained relationship. Like I want to one day get married. I want me and my husband to raise kids in a home that is blessed and protected by God. Like I want to be with somebody that also wants to be a light in this world. that's full of darkness. And I've said that about myself for a long time before I even decided to get close to God, that I want to be a light in this world that is full of darkness. Like,
Mhm.
so if I can't be with a man that is on that same timing, if I can't be with a man that wants to strengthen his relationship with God, I can't be with them. Because
That's
in
true.
the end, yeah, because in the end, if I'm with you, you're gonna pull me away from my purpose. My purpose involves what God wants me to do. It's God's
Mhm.
plan, not my plan.
Yeah, great.
You
So
know?
that means, in a sense, and I agree, like you have to see his own principles and how does
Yes.
he fear? Because how does he lead? And I think that's something I've had to sit down and tell myself, like, if you're not going to God to give you the answers and you're not going to God about it and praying about it, then what are we doing? You know
That
what I
part.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
how are you going to be able to lead me, but also love me? Because the love that we get from loving God, even on days that we sin, even on days that we think we're not, you know what I mean? Like, we're
Yeah.
not supposed to get stuff, like
Yes.
God sees us as our children, and you know, our children that you have to take care of them because
Yes.
you're children and we're God's children. You know, they always say God is a girl dad, and I kind of believe it because, you know, like on days where you know my spirit is broken, like dang, like I really liked him or I really wish this worked out. I still get that warmth and love of God. So to your point, I agree. I think
Yeah.
it has to be led, like it has to be led, but not forcefully led.
Yes,
I need to
exactly.
see how
That needs to be something you're already doing.
you're already doing, you know what I mean? Like I don't have to I want to see your principles. I actually want to see I respect a man with boundaries.
Yes. Yes. Wait, so speaking about that, the boundaries, right? Okay, so being
I like to see the men with their boundaries. I told myself moving forward, I'm no longer saying my boundaries anymore. I want to hear what's his boundaries and what's
yeah,
his what he's trying to do because
yeah,
I want to see his fear of God in him and what
yeah.
he's trying to do with this
And what is
relationship.
like what is your level of self-control? So like going back into you
Yeah,
talking,
discipline. Say it again.
yeah, the
Lust.
love of men, okay? So that right there. I have this definitely wraps into the whole dating scenery. But I'm talking like since I was younger. Like my entire life I've dealt with men sexualizing me. And it makes me uncomfortable. There was a point in
You
time
get
when
you get what I was saying earlier.
yes, yeah, and it makes me uncomfortable and it got to a point where, when I was younger, I didn't understand how to go about it.
It was
Like they would make
uncomfortable.
me yeah, they would make me feel bad for like not wanting them to do that. And now as I get older, I'm like, I don't care what you do or don't like. It is my body. What boundaries I set for you is what you need to follow. If you can't follow it, go that way. Find the next one that's going to be okay with you sexualizing them in every moment of the day. There's more to me than my body and my looks. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like I've had to step away from situationships where all that man wanted from me was sex.
yeah.
And that's not that does not at all no, that does not at all represent my worth as a woman.
No, it feels so degrading to
It
even
does.
add to that because I don't think a lot of people understand. And the girls that are listening, they're gonna understand where I'm coming with this. Like consent, like
Yes.
consent is a real thing, and just because someone they said no first and then they end up saying yes, I wouldn't trust that. I feel like, you know, it's often talked about, right? And we as women sometimes feel scared to say no because men are very forceful. And
Mm.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Amanda. Like I had a couple of situations like this past last year where I was putting in a predicament and I didn't appreciate it because I said something at the beginning and why are you forcing yourself on me? Like I don't think a lot of men sometimes can be very selfish and feel like their needs and their desires have to be done. I was told by one dude, like, I had ideas and dreams about you and I need to fulfill it. Excuse me? Excuse me? Imagine a girl like me just thinking I'm on a regular date, like, we had good conversation, and you're telling me, like, you've already had your deja vu moment and you need to feel like it's crazy. You know what I mean? It's disgusting. It makes me sit down and wonder, like, wow. You know what I mean? And like I said to you earlier about like, certain situations around me and certain like friendships that I had around me. And when they say things like that to me, I'm like, but do you know the trauma and like what I've experienced, like even trying to date? You know what
Right.
I mean? Like, to your point, it's uncomfortable.
Pretty uncomfortable.
It sometimes
And
makes me not even want to put myself out there.
yeah, and for women to even get to a point where they're afraid to tell you no, which I've been in those scenarios as well. And it's actually really sad that women have to feel like that. It's really, really sad. And it's uncomfortable. And then you're beating yourself up afterwards because it's like, why did I do it? But
Yeah.
also in the moment, you couldn't get yourself to say no. They're already pushing themselves on you. They're already forcing the situation, and then want to act brand new when you tell them about themselves afterwards, and want to tell you like, "Oh, how could you say that about me? You did what you did.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
You did what you did, and I'm
Yeah.
calling you out on it, whether you like it or not. No, I
Yeah.
don't want to deal with you.
It's not what I want for myself.
No,
And that's not the kind of love I feel like I believe, and I've seen it before. There's been people I've dated that didn't want to touch me. They were scared to touch me. They were scared to even come beside the girl. They were like, you know what I mean? And as things progressed, like, it got better. But I think it's something that is good that we touch on it and we talk about it. But also, we can't allow it to
mm-mm,
deteriorate us from wanting to date
mm-mm.
and wanting to put ourselves out there because, you know, not all men are sick.
No, they're not.
Most
There are good
most are. A good majority, I'm not gonna lie, I think is a little sick
in the head.
in the head. And I put mercy, peace, and blessings to you.
Pray over you. Promise.
But keep that spirit over there.
Mm-hmm.
Keep that spirit over there. So
Mm-hmm.
that's really good. But on a brighter note, let's talk about like what are you excited about dating? Like what keeps you
Honestly, I feel like I haven't been this excited about like the process of you said dating, right?
yes.
Okay, I haven't been this excited about the process of dating in a long time. But I feel like it's because I'm doing it through God. Like I'm doing it with different standards. I'm doing it with different boundaries. I'm doing it with a higher sense of self-love. You know what I mean? Like
Mm.
a more clear sense of my purpose in this world. And because I'm more clear on these things, it allows me to be more intentional about the moves that I make, who I decide to exchange the energy with. You know what I mean? So like I'm excited. I'm excited to meet people that love God and see where it can go without, for me personally, without anything to do with the flesh. I
Mhm.
feel like it's just a different ball game. It's allowing people to really, ooh, sorry, excuse me, I had to burp. But it's allowing people to really get to know me and see if we click without the flesh involved. You know what I mean? Um, and again, I've already mentioned before, like I'm not a perfect Christian woman. I'm a human being. I'm a woman.
Baby, that's the
Just
beauty of
you,
it.
just
Not
you.
to go preaching a little bit, but that is the beauty of it. You know what I mean? I think what we have to realize is nobody's perfect. I'm
Right,
not perfect. You're not perfect.
right.
There is rules. There is not even rules. There's principles that we obey by. But you know, we're all sinners at the end of the day. The only difference between you and I is we speak on it. You know,
Yes, yes.
we're not hypocrites to
No,
what we are doing or what we're going through. Because I
no.
think when we talk about being a young woman and being a young adult and dating but also being a Christian, I think there is different images that look to it, but I think the beauty of loving God and being a woman of God and aspiring to want a husband, I also think these conversations, these moments about talking about what you suffer, because there's other women like ourselves that are going through these same things, having these same emotions, who fall into temptation, who fall into lust. You know how many times I said, I'm not going to touch a particular person, and we
And
end up talking and we end up in doing whatever we're doing. You know what I mean? But I sit here to tell you, like, I'm not perfect. I
that part,
pray about it. I try again. And I keep asking myself, and I keep y'all around to keep me accountable. You know what I
yes,
mean? Like, we can't say we love God and we don't have community,
yeah,
but we have to talk to, when you sin, you're supposed to tell your fellow sister in Christ or your brother in Christ, so then you guys can work through it, pray through it. So at the end of the day, like, you are who you are, Amanda. And who's meant to hear your message and convey and see God through you, that is on them and that is on you. You know what I mean? Like, don't ever be apologetic of who you are,
yeah,
because if you were so perfect, then you wouldn't be here. You know what I
right,
mean? God is always near the brokenhearted. He's always he loves to use people like ourselves to show
right,
people that I
right,
can change you from Amanda to Miss Amanda, or
mhm,
okay, or I can change Yama into Mary Yama. So
yeah,
that is the beauty of loving God. God's never gonna forsake you. He's always has his open arms saying, I knew what you were gonna do before you were gonna do it. And I'm here to tell you, like, it's okay. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
And that's like the
So
reason why I keep mentioning during this podcast that like I'm not like a perfect Christian woman. I want people to feel
you have a past life. It's true. We
I'm
all
not
live
even
all over
that.
the
I'm not
world.
even because
So
just like you were just saying, like for me to never be apologetic, I'm unapologetically me. I don't care what you stop, please.
been that girl. I'm
Okay,
gonna beat that girl.
part, okay, and it's just like, but I'm saying that I'm not a perfect Christian woman because I want people to understand that just because you have a past doesn't mean that you can't get closer to God. It doesn't mean that you can't elevate as a person with God. Like
It's true.
I just want people to understand, like I am not a perfect human being, and I'm not just sitting here trying to pretend that I'm this perfect human being who should be in a relationship with God. No, I'm trying to tell you,
Been there, done that, and now I
and now I'm understanding that there is so much more.
done that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like
It's
God
a
is,
brighter side. It's lighter. It's not heavy. Like,
yeah,
I think also to it, it's like it's very easy to live with the world, but the world is not fulfilling. But
mm,
it's like as soon as you choose God and you choose the love of God and you choose what God benefits have, because remember, God has so many benefits that we can have: love, joy, even long suffering is the fruit of the spirits. There's so many fruit of the spirits that we are able to have once we choose to die to our flesh, and we die to our flesh every single day. And that is the beauty of it. Because I tell you this, been there, done that. You
yeah,
name it, I've done it.
yeah. Okay.
Well, wait, let me not say that. Hold on. Depending on what you're naming, I promise, because that kind of sound kind of
I can
crazy.
correct, like, but basically, trying to let you know, like, we're not perfect, okay? So
Nah.
you can do it too, is the main point.
Yeah, done
You can do it
run
too.
game, done did what I had to do. But I'm gonna
Okay?
tell you one thing about my past and about even dating, or even involving and just incorporating my faith into the work that I do, right? One thing I would say though, Amanda, is that that's the beauty of growth.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm faced with the challenges of my past, I always say, God likes to give you the same lesson. In my opinion, God likes to give you the same lessons to see how you're going to handle it.
Yes.
And I've been given lessons with the same type of people that I've dated, or people from my past that I've done wrong. And I think the beauty of Christ is being able to, address those situations full on. So I think that's another thing that I will say. Like, I love when things from the past do come up, because it then challenged me to see like my growth. Like, it then you get to see a different light of me, because there's been people where I've ghosted them and they say, you really hurt me, and I'm like, I apologize. You know what I mean? Like, I'm actually sorry. Like, that is not who I was then is not who I am now.
Mm,
And I think it's, but I also tell myself, like, at the end of the day, like, as long as God forgives me, sometimes people don't forgive your past. Sometimes people bring up your past to throw it in your face. But
yes.
you as an individual, we as individuals have to be okay with sometimes like things that we did in the past sometimes do come up. But how do we then challenge it and deal
Right.
with it?
Right.
Sorry for a little break. I had a little knock 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 on the door. I got a little delivery. Got me some, as y'all know, I'm the original flower girl, so I got me some flowers.
Okay.
So had to get that. But yeah, that's a little take on dating. So I think it's time to talk more about self. Big 2025 energy, what we feeling, what's the vibe of this year. And then I think let's also just end it in like, what have you been learning? And not what have you been learning, but what are you seeking to learn more this year?
Okay. I'm gonna start off with what I'm seeking to learn this year. I am seeking to learn more about God this year. I am seeking to become so I just really want to learn more about God. I want to learn more about his word. I want to really like study the Bible this year. Like I've read verses in the Bible my whole life since I was a kid, but when I tell you I have never once read the Bible from beginning to end, I've never done that. So that is something that I want to do this year. And I also have some skills that I want to get under my belt so that I can, just advance in my own business that I have, my hair business. And then I am also looking to learn about investments this year when it comes to like the finances. So yeah, I definitely want to learn about those things. And then of course, like I feel like we should want to learn more about ourselves all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like that goes hand in hand with the self-growth aspect and self-love aspect, because here's how I look at it. I'm an advocate for my friends deciding to, like do better for themselves, do more for themselves. I'm always going to push you to do more because I love you.
Yeah.
And now here I think about it, I'm just like, okay, if I love myself, why wouldn't I push myself to do better? Why wouldn't I push myself to grow?
Yeah. It's real.
So that's a part of, the reason why I want to learn all the things that I want to learn.
Big 2025 energy. I love it. Excuse me. Not me burping. Sorry, y'all. That was bad.
We stay hydrated over here, okay? So the water just.
I know. Me and my little sparkling water. I'm like, sorry. But yeah. But, it's a great 2025 energy. I want to just trust my journey. I really just want to trust my creative journey and see where it grows.
Yes.
I know I can get in moods, and sometimes I am not as consistent and disciplined, but I just want to just stay consistent and allow things to flow. But I just want to learn more about me, learn more about God, and I love speaking to God. I listen to a lot of worship music, so just sitting and basking in it and just making more sisterhoods and having more friends and just being able to grow in the craft in my career and grow with God. But doing all of those things because I believe everything I do integrates with God. But other than that, yeah, that's my and I think my biggest 2025 thing that I'm trying to really do is like really like solidify room 109 in my freelance. And office services, like which I'll be offering soon, but just cleaning that up and really leaning into my freelance bag and my, work that I do on the side. So that's what I really want to do and just learn more about me and be comfortable in my skin and continue to love me more and more and continue to uphold my boundaries and
stand on business. I wish we could like insert that gif of somebody just stepping.
Like all 10 toes is damn. Like that, right? Like
Business.
So that's so wholesome. This was such a good girl chat.
Oh, it was like, and mind you, y'all, we just let you guys have a sneak peek of that because this is just what we do.
Yeah, we literally did it.
Our regular conversations about life.
Literally. And I just want to say thank you for being on my platform and just being vulnerable and just coming to just speak your truth. Happy Valentine's Day. I love you, sister.
Hey, Pooh,
You are
care
my
love.
girl.
You my grill, that grill.
Yeah, like I'm gonna always say, been that girl, forever gonna be that girl, and that's on period. Ain't nobody gonna take that from us. But yeah, happy Valentine's Day to y'all. I hope y'all love on yourselves a little bit more. I'm sending y'all peace and blessings in a time where we see that people are being loved on in different ways, but just know that you are loved. God loves you. I love you. And just show yourself gratitude, show yourself peace. And I hope this episode is everything that you want and need. Don't forget to subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. She's back. I'm gonna have all our information below. And stay tuned. Bye, y'all.
Bye.